Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of One Mic Conversations with me, Skittzo, and my mother.
K. Sands.
And today we're going to be talking about the usual NFL, past weekend, dreams, word of the day, the Giants, of course, because, I'm a Giants fan, and the horror of the Giants continues with another loss this past weekend, which we'll get into as well. So, all right, well, let's begin, shall we? This past weekend, we're gonna go over our picks and everything, but this past weekend the Giants were just horrible.
Yeah, it was sad.
Yeah, and the backup quarterback Tommy DeVito, he passed more passes, but it doesn't seem like they're really giving them, to me, a lot. They gave him some chances, but I think they got to go further with him, give him some more. But if it was me, after a while, they got to just go to another quarterback, give somebody else a shot, and just see what the other person has. This is a great way to see who you want as a backup for next year.
Yeah,
this is real game situation, and they want to do good. So the other team's defense are going to do as good as they can because they don't want to lose the game. So if the Giants, let Tommy DeVito just go at it, and then you have, then they switch to another backup just to see who got what, how it is, and really go at it.
Yeah, they could see what he really has.
Yeah, and any other backup quarterback too.
Yeah, but if they're not allowing him to, how they really ever going to know?
Yeah, well, they're allowing him, but not
really letting him.
Yeah, so
play.
either it's just not there, or it's just they're kind of, the season's over, like I've been saying for weeks. Right. So they just need to let that happen with him.
See what he really has.
And any other quarterbacks they have,
right.
They gotta let them play too. See what they got. See what happens, right? All right. So now that we talked about the Giants real quick and the horribleness, and see what's going to happen there, it's just bad. So
maybe next year will be better.
Well, that's what we say every year. Is next year, right?
Yes. Well, I always say if the Giants want to win, not that they can't, it's if.
No, right now it seems like the Giants can't.
Well, yeah, because they've been throwing so many curveballs right now.
So yeah. All right, let's get it. So you had the Colts. Well, the Colts and Pats. We both had the Colts.
Yes.
This past week, and that was a 9:30 game. I think it was a 9:30 a.m. game. I think they had one this past week. The Colts won 10-6.
Oh, good.
All right, so we both got that one. Ravens and Browns. The Browns won 33-31. So you had the Browns, and I had the Ravens.
Yes.
All right. So yeah. All right. Let's see what else. I can't. Yeah. Okay. We have to go back to the last Thursday, because it's a part of last weekend. The Bears, go over it again. The Bears beat the Panthers. You had the Panthers, I had the Bears. So I think, because last week is this past Sunday, last Thursday, the part of last Sunday, this past Sunday. So, all right. So we have Steelers and the Packers. You had the Packers. I had the Steelers. Steelers won. No, wait. No, you had the Packers. I had the Steelers, right? Yep. Packers lost, Mom.
Yeah.
Steelers won. All right. So it was the Packers, Steelers. Okay. The Steelers won 23-19. Texans at Bengals, is it? Well, Texans at Bengals. The Texans beat the Bengals 30-27. You had the Bengals, and I had the Texans. Okay, so I did. Okay, I got that one. All right, I'm gonna have to go through this again. Saints at the Vikings. The Vikings won 27-19 against the Saints. I had the Saints. You had the Vikings.
Yes.
Something they got to change here. All right. And that was the 49ers at Jaguars. You had the Jags, and so did I. And that was the 49ers won 34-3.
I know.
That's not good.
No, I don't know what happened there. I really have to rethink who I really want to.
Did you say at one point? Did you say that at one point that you thought it was going to be the Jaguars and the Lions in the Super Bowl? Isn't that what we were talking about one time?
I did. I thought the Jaguars were going to make it all the way, but now Lions.
Hey, it happens sometimes. So losing that badly and still make the playoffs.
All the Cats are kind of like letting me down.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because how many cat teams are there?
There's the Jaguars.
Panthers.
There's the Panthers.
Are those the only two cats?
No.
Lions.
The Lions.
Lions are Lions is a cat.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I'll have to see what happens now.
Yeah.
Before I start chucking them off my list.
Yeah. All right, next, Titans at Buccaneers. The Bucs won 20-6. All right, you had the Titans, and so did I. The Falcons at Cardinals. Cardinals won 25-23. You had the Cardinals. I had the Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
Lions at Chargers. Lions at Chargers. Lions won 41-38. It's amazing how not too long ago the Lions could barely score.
I know.
And now they just ran out the score. So the Lions won.
The Chargers might have won that game, but oh well.
Yeah, well, it's apparently close. It's 41-38.
Yeah,
right.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll give them another shot.
Yeah. So, all right. Also, the horribleness of being a Giants fan is the fact that they lost 49-17 to the Cowboys. At least they scored this time instead of week one. At least did some stuff, but it was just horrible.
Yeah, but I didn't. It would have been nice if they won, but let's face it. Look at how everything has unraveled with the Giants.
And fast.
Yeah.
So, in the draft, we'll see what happens. See if they do anything in the draft. If they're able to do anything at all. And if they can, we'll see what happens. I mean.
Well, it's a matter if they pick the right people.
Well, yeah, it's all of them.
And like I said, if the Giants want to win. So next year, when the draft rolls around.
Oh, the draft, you're right. Will be next year, April.
Yeah. Well, they can pick them, but let's see what the Giants decide they want to do.
You mean actually win? Pick the players that'll win and play?
I always think it's not really that they can't win. It's if they want to, I don't feel like playing. I don't feel like catching the ball.
I don't think that happens, but
I think I like to sit this one out.
It does
today.
seem. I think when a team is having a bad game, it seems like they're not trying, but sometimes things just don't work out.
Yes, this is true. But I've seen them just walk around and say, "Oh, I don't care today."
I don't know if that's. I maybe some players, in general, but I don't know if the Giants do that. But we'll see what happens.
Please, I've seen it.
So do you? What do you think? Do you think they're going to give? Daniel Jones is out for the rest of the season. Do you see them giving him another year, or before they draft a quarterback, or drafting a quarterback in April's draft, or are they going to draft one following April?
They may draft a quarterback, still keep Daniel Jones to see how he can play because he's had these injuries. See how the year would be for him. Like they'll know kind of in when they
he has to come back from to come back from it first and see how he is with his knee injury, but
see how he is. And if he can really play, they'll probably keep him on, but do a backup quarterback. They're going to have to because if he can't play anymore.
Well, yeah, he would be a backup for you, or they would let him go, but they would take a cap hit of that money. But
or use him as a starter, but a backup too, in case
he doesn't work
some,
out.
Right.
So you're saying. So what you're saying is that should they draft a quarterback this April in the first round, or should they draft one in the first round next year?
Well, I think it depends too on how the quarterbacks that they have now, are they going to really look to see what those quarterbacks have, or are they going to just keep them on the sideline? Are they going to play them, or to know if they should draft another
they're playing Tommy DeVito right now, but I don't know if... I mean, some of the quarterbacks they have at backups and that they signed are older, so I don't know what they're going to do with that. But what I'm asking you is...
they need to finish out this year, see what DeVito has and the others have. And you know what? They'll know by the time the season's over.
Yeah, but what would you do? Would you draft a quarterback this year to watch Daniel Jones next year, see how he is, and if he's not good, take him out?
I would. Or would you draft another quarterback? But I would play DeVito.
DeVito? DeVito when? This year?
Yeah, who's playing for the Giants right now, the backup quarterback.
Yeah, no, what I'm asking you is...
Yes, I would draft a quarterback, but I would also really let this other person play to see...
But you would play him this year.
Yeah.
But what about Daniel Jones?
Daniel Jones, I'd play him...
Next year?
Next year.
And so you would have the draft pick that you draft, just be a backup quarterback, play Daniel Jones, see how he does. Right. And if he doesn't do any good, just
choose whoever I want, and I could have Daniel Jones end up being a backup,
and then get rid of him at the end of the year
if needed.
Well, it's going to be a 40-year contract for a backup. It's not going to stay that way.
Yeah, so then I'd have to.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but I'd have to.
Yeah. All right. Well, not good. And there's been more. Not only his injury. Well, hold on. Let's go back to the picks and then we'll talk. All right. Jets at Raiders. You picked the Raiders, and I picked the Jets. The Raiders won 16-12. Then the surprising one, because the Broncos were bad at first for weeks, and apparently they've gotten better. Bills at Broncos. I picked the Bills. You picked the Broncos, and the Broncos won 24-22. I don't know.
Yeah, I just didn't feel like picking the Bills.
Yeah, I mean, it was a close game with the Giants, which was odd, but so I don't know if it's weather or something like that. But okay, so let's see here. It looks like, if my calculations are correct, it was 3-11 for me. No. Hold on. Was it 4-10 for me? Anyone might have been 4. Yep, 4-10, and I think might be 7-7 for you. I think, unless I calculated it wrong, but I think it's 4-10 for me, 7-7 for you. So, yeah, you broke even, and I did horrible, very, very horrible. I mean, there's also been more injuries. I mean, Joe Burrow's out now. Mark Andrews, a tight end for the Ravens, who's really good, is out for the season. It's like constant. It's a mess. All right, so
I think it's going to be called the injury season.
Yeah, injury season for everyone. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so now, all right, we have for Thursday, okay, the Bengals at Ravens. You had picked the Bengals?
Yeah.
You picked the Bengals, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I picked the Ravens. All right, we'll see how this weekend goes for Sunday games, and we'll make our pick Sunday morning. All right, so next word of the day is galore. All right, that's the word for today. And galore means... Hold on, where is it? I should have had it. Okay. Galore, an abundance. Galore means an abundance in plentiful amounts. galore, in abundance and in plentiful amounts. All right, there you go. All right, now, next it's on to the dream portion of the show. And you had picked turtle. What made you decide to pick turtle, Mom?
I don't know. I thought, wow.
All right, so if you dream of a turtle, I suppose, to dream of seeing turtle signifies that an unusual incident will cause you enjoyment and improve your business conditions.
Oh, that's nice.
To drink turtle soup denotes that you will find pleasure in a compromising intrigue. All right, so let's see. Again, turtle. To dream of seeing turtle signifies that an unusual incident will cause you enjoyment, improving your business conditions. Next, to drink turtle soup denotes that you will find pleasure in compromising intrigue. Intrigue, yeah, it's spelled. It looks like it's intrigue. All right. So, yep. All right. All right. Next is Goosebumps. All right. Now, what we're going to talk about next is the Goosebumps episode. You Can't Scare Me. Now, the ending of this episode was the last part before, the credits was a surprise, but we're not going to find that surprise out until the next episode. But what we're going to start with is the fact that they're still in the scrapbook.
Yeah, they are.
They're still, and it's disintegrating because in the previous episode it got thrown in the water.
Yes, it did.
Harold and Mr. Pratt still fighting each other in his own body.
Yeah.
So what happened? Let's see. They're watching it disintegrate, and they keep falling and falling, and they meet. They end up seeing
Harold's parents.
Yeah, and what does Harold's parents say to him?
That tell Harold that they forgive him, and that he'll always be their hair bear.
I think like that. I think Care Bear, Hair Bear. But it was said Hair Bear for a reason. Yeah. So it's still disintegrating, and they see his parents. They forgive him and stuff, and then, like you said, and then what did you think about the episode anyway?
It was better than the one before it.
Yeah. So okay, moving on to back to the episode.
Brat and Harold are fighting in Brat's body, and Brat manages to create a door in the book. For the kids to get
whatever
out.
Page that it flipped to.
Yeah.
He made a door. They saw it. They got out of there. They went back to reality. And Nora was, she picked up Slappy. Or she already had Slappy? No, she picked him up.
She picked him up,
Or did she already have, or she was already traveling maybe. I can't remember that part actually, exactly what. But she was heading somewhere with Slappy, I think to bury him or burn or whatever she was going to do.
Yeah.
She was headed to a cabin in the mountain. It was snowing. Biddle was still chasing her.
Yes.
But he got sidetracked because the police officer said, you can't go there with snow chains, so he had to go back. So he found another way through. The kids, after being out of the scrapbook and finally getting out, they saw Mr. Pratt's car stopped, saw footprints, and noticed that that's where they were going. He was heading to Nora's cabin, or whoever's cabin it was.
Yeah. So they got out of the car, and they went. Some of them went to try and help Nora, while two still stayed at the car they came
so Isaiah, Lucas, and Margot, they went.
Yeah.
And then James and I can't remember the other girl's name at the moment. I can't remember. But they made their way. Biddle, in the process, is still chasing Nora.
Yes.
Nora hides, but then eventually gets caught. She falls and I guess gets knocked out.
Yeah.
He obtains Biddle. Biddle obtains Slappy, grabs him, puts them back together, and Slappy says, "Hello, old friend."
Yeah. And then in the meantime, the parents drive up.
Yeah, because they see the car. They see James' car. They drive up. They stop and say, "Are you James?" because it was the dupe before, and she hit her son that she thought was son and exploded.
Yeah.
But I think in that episode, they just thought he might have been possessed.
Yeah.
And they were going to hit him over. She was going to hit him over the head and knock him out. But he actually exploded.
Yeah.
He goes, "Wait, are you my son?" And she says some remark that she, that's you, James, and stuff. I think the character's name is James. But they explain to him that, Biddle is after, about Biddle, Harold, and all that, and they know about all that.
Yeah.
They go, okay, and then they start to head that way all together to find Nora and the other kids and stuff like that. And Margot, Lucas, and Isaiah are walking through the woods. Isaiah falls.
Yeah, off a cliff and he's hanging on.
Yeah, and then they realize they lost him and they're looking for him, but
they find Nora. Lucas finds Nora.
They find Nora first.
And she's okay.
Yeah, and well, how Nora got caught is because she thinks she's hearing Lucas's voice.
Yes.
And that's how Biddle got her, and that's when he knocked her and she fell, whatever. But Isaiah, they're realizing Isaiah's not around, so Isaiah thinks when he puts his hand up, he thinks I don't know if he thought he heard them or in the script and everything, but it turns out that Slappy's standing there, and Biddle.
Yeah.
So Slappy is telling Biddle to kill Isaiah. You know what I mean? And then they all come up, and Biddle. Does Brat try to start fighting Biddle or no? He was not fight. He can't fight. He wasn't fighting him off that point.
No. But Marco wasn't trying to talk to Biddle.
Well, they all were talking to him, saying that they were sorry that we're friends. It was because of him. You're not evil or something like that. He's the evil one. We were trying to help you and stuff. And what happened was. What happened?
They said about his parents.
Yeah, and he thought they were lying. He was saying that you were lying about my parents. You didn't see it or something like that. And she says, they forgive you and you'll always be their here bear. And when he heard that, he knew that she actually, because remember, it's 30 years apart.
Yeah.
So how would she know something that happened 30 years ago, because that's probably something that only a few people would know about.
Yeah.
And how would they know? And if he never told Sarah or Nora or any of them when they were younger, there's no way she would have known.
No.
So she says it, and he stops, and something about did somebody say you killed your parents, or did Slappy say you killed it? Because I remember Biddle responding with, "I didn't kill my parents, you did."
Yes, it might have been Slappy who had said it.
Yeah, or something like that, or just like you did to or something like that. Yeah. But he picks up after he says, "No, I didn't kill my parents, you did." He picks up Slappy and throws him over the cliff.
Yes,
and Biddle comes out of Brat's body. And he becomes what Biddle looked like before the burning and all that stuff. And he talks to
his parents.
No, not his parents. No,
didn't his parents?
They showed up, but he talked to Sarah first.
Oh yeah,
because that's who they were friends with, and they went back to how they met a little bit and all that stuff. And Did they apologize to him?
Yes,
they apologized to him and stuff like that. And they wanted to help him or whatever. And I think he finally saw that, and then he was able to move on because his parents, who were ghostly, they were spirits, not ghosts, spirits. They didn't look like ghostly, evil or anything like that. They just looked like themselves, but a ghost. And he went over to them, and they were united, and it was able for all of them to pass on and stuff. But that's episode 8. So now there's 9 and I think 10. I think there's 2 more. Because at the end of this episode, Slappy's in pieces.
Yeah.
Right? Is he in somewhere, or does somebody just walk up to him?
I'm not sure. I thought, I could be wrong. I thought I heard a door
or something
open.
Like that. But you know what? They were going through everything and everybody going home and all that stuff, the different cuts and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you had Mr. Bratt. Didn't Mr. Bratt walk in the door and go crazy or something like that? And then other people were going home or something like I can't remember what everybody was doing.
Something like that.
But Slappy's laying there and someone walks over or walks in the door or something. And what does he say?
What took you so
long? What took you so long?
Yep.
So there's somebody else involved.
Yeah.
So who do you think it is?
I think it's that policeman. I don't know why, but I think it's possible.
Oh, you mean the policeman that saw Slappy?
Yeah, and told Biddle he had to turn around.
Go the other way?
Yes.
I mean, it's possible. You would probably have to find...
He let Nora go up ahead to the cabin.
Without any chains.
Yeah.
But yet, I don't know, it's possible.
Who do
maybe
you
he's...
think?
Well, I mean, think about it. If that police officer has been there for 30 years from a child, he might have known about Slappy and the burning and what could have gone on some way, somehow.
Yeah.
He could have been in the back of the room somewhere listening. You don't know. And he could have found Slappy before or saw him before.
Yeah.
Or it could have been somebody in the audience that day that Slappy talked to just in case it didn't work out with Biddle when they were teenagers. You never know. Yeah. That's a possibility. That's what took you so long. So, I mean, I think it could be a couple different people. Okay. It could be either, I was thinking maybe the guy Nora was seeing, acting like he doesn't know anything, but had been around back then and they don't know it, or found things out, or Slappy talked to him somehow. Could be him. Maybe it's not even a guy this time.
Well,
could be a woman.
Yeah.
So it's either that. So it's either Biddle, not a Biddle. I mean, Biddle, it probably wouldn't be Biddle, or unless the whole thing with Biddle was fake and he came back.
I don't know.
Maybe he made them think that it was his parents. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could be. It could have been Slappy playing the trick or something like that, waiting for Biddle to come back and get him so they can finish their plan.
Maybe.
You know, it's possible. But I think it could be either Nora's guy that she was seeing. Could be one of the kids. You know, could be one of them.
Yeah.
It could be, let's see. I mean, the guy, Isaiah's father, was the last one with Slappy out of that. No, it wasn't. No, he wasn't, because they all got together and shoved Slappy in the case. But he was the first one to hear Slappy 30 years ago. You know what I mean? When he opened the case, said, "Oh, she's telling the truth." But I wonder, because this would have to be another generation, unless the grandfather faked his death and is still alive.
No,
but it wouldn't make sense for him to help Slappy.
Yeah. I don't think it was Brad.
Brad, it could be because he's he's a relative of theirs. Or didn't he inherit the house?
Yeah, I think so. But first I thought maybe it's a possibility, but I'm wondering more if it's that policeman.
It could be. He could have been around back then, known about the thing, and you know what I mean? Or...
Well, he travels those roads, so...
Yeah. And the fact that he let her go forward when it was worse.
Yeah, and he may have been out walking around, seeing if anyone was around, needed help.
Could be.
Came across him again.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He could have been walking around hearing stuff, and then he goes, "What took you so long?" But
it's like, I don't know if it's like he knew the person,
or it's a cop looking for people which would happen.
Yeah. Or
unless he's a descendant of someone else who wanted Slappy years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Possibility, or someone else because the guy that Nora was with, whose husband was that? Was that Margot's father? Was that Sarah's husband? I can't remember whose husband that was.
I thought it was
Sarah's.
Sarah's. mother?
No,
Or Margot's
no, that's
mother?
Sarah's mother.
Margot's mother, maybe?
It was Margot's mother. No. Yeah,
No.
was it?
Oh, no,
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. I gotta look into that. I forgot. I'm not sure. I don't know. I've been watching it for 8 episodes. For some reason, I'm not. I've been doing other stuff anyway. So I think it's possible it could be that cop. He's searching for people like cops would do if they're hearing stuff, or they're just seeing what's going on. A bunch of cars parked, want to know what's going on.
yeah.
It could be Brad himself. He is a descendant. Because isn't he a descendant of the grandfather too? Because didn't he inherit that house? Found out that, I don't think he bought it. I thought he inherited
the grandfather, didn't he buy the house, the grandfather?
No, but what I'm saying is that I thought Mr. Bratt inherited the house. Because I looked it up. He inherits the Biddle house. Yeah. So Bratt inherited it. So it's possible that he inherited it, and then maybe he wanted to get rid of Biddle to have Slappy for himself. Because remember, Biddle would be in the mind of Bratt, and it's just possible Slappy felt a connection because to the grandfather. Because if he inherited the house, most likely he had the same grandfather.
Yeah.
The question is, who is he related to? Who's his mother and father? You know what I mean? Like, who's his mother and father?
Yeah.
Because he's not young.
No.
He's what? Even if you had to give him an age for the series, 30s, late 20s, late 30s,
Maybe.
between there. So he's not like very young. For Mr. Bratt, so maybe I don't know who the fuck is he related to. Who did he inherit that house from? Because Biddle's parents are dead. He killed them, right? That's the truth. Then he was dead. So who the fuck is the other people?
I don't know.
So that might be something. Maybe the cop is also related to the Biddles.
Could be.
So, or maybe the guy Nora was seeing who's married to one of those women or is a descendant of the Biddle family as well, somehow, some way. It'll be very interesting for the next episode. All right. So what do you think? Do you think there's any correlation to that? Or do you think it's just someone coming across them or someone with a cop? You think it's a cop?
I think it could be the cop, yeah.
Do you think that there's any connection between him, the cop, and any family, or it's just he comes across them?
Oh, you know what? That's a good question, because I think it could be either one.
All right. So you think it could be?
I think it's a possibility. It could be either one.
Either he just comes across?
Be related, or he just came upon.
And Slappy just said, "What took you so long?" Because
he wants to.
Because he did see Slappy when he fell out of the bag.
Yeah.
So he's probably like, "What took you so long?" You know what I mean? Like just say something to him.
Yeah.
Say something that doesn't mean anything. All right. So, with that being said, all right. The next episode is called Night of the Living Dummy Part 2. So, what do you think is going to happen?
I don't know. Something to do with Slappy. I wonder if he
That's a given.
Gets put back together.
Well, I would think he's put back together right, like off camera or at the beginning of the next episode.
Right. Or if that cop, whether he's connected or has just came upon him, decides, well, he can talk.
Yeah.
Works for him.
Or could Bratt have a twin brother?
I don't know.
So we'll see, Unless, I doubt the grandfather's probably dead, so I doubt he came back to kill Slappy once and for all. I don't think that's possible. You know what I mean? So, all right. So, we'll leave it at that with Goosebumps. So, yeah. All right. This has been one of my conversations with me, Skittzo, and my mother.
K. Sands.
And thanks for listening, and we're out.